have to take a sign convention, let us take the direction of electric field positive from left to right and negative from right to left. Okay, so at all the 3 points, let us see what will be the total electric field according to the sign convention. So I repeat, what will be the sign convention? Towards right, we'll be taking the field to be positive, and towards left, we'll take the field to be negative. So what will be the field at A point accordingly? So total field at point A will be EA, let us call it EA. Both are towards left side. So that will be minus E1 minus E2. Got this? Because we said that field towards left will be taken to be negative. So it is minus E1 minus E2. Put the value of E1 and E2. What do we get? This becomes minus sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus 1 by 2 epsilon naught sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So this is electric field at A point. This is total electric field at point A. Okay, any doubt how I have written net electric field at A point? Because the sign convention is towards left, the field will be taken to be negative. So both are towards left, so minus E1 minus E2. Now let's come to point B now. At B point, let us write EB. E1 is positive because it's towards right and E2 will be negative. So it is E1 minus E2. Put the values of E1, E2 here. You get 1 over 2 epsilon naught common sigma 1 minus sigma 2. So this is net field at point B. Now at point C, both the fields are towards right. Both will be taken to be positive. So EC is E1 plus E2. 1 over 2 epsilon naught sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So have a look at EA, B and C. Have a look at EA, EB and EC. At all these points, these are the net electric field intensities. But now also these are not the proper expressions. The expressions, correct expression should be very compact and precise. So what we can do for this purpose, we can take one assumption now. Let the two infinite sheets be of equal and opposite surface charge densities. Let the two sheets have equal and opposite surface charge densities. So sigma 1 is plus sigma and sigma 2 is minus sigma. That's why sigma 1, sigma 2 will be plus minus sigma. Let us assume that the two sheets are having equal and opposite surface charge densities. So if sigma 1 is plus sigma, sigma 2 will be minus sigma. So let us put these values in EA, EB and EC. So let's see what do we get. So what I am saying is, let us say that the two sheets are having equal and opposite surface charge densities. अगर इसकी plus sigma है, sigma 1 is plus sigma, then we are saying कि sigma 2 is minus sigma. Equal and opposite surface charge densities अगर हो, तब क्या होगा इनके बीच में field? So we are putting sigma 1 equal to plus sigma and sigma 2 equal to minus sigma in all these expressions. What do we get? EA. सिग्मा 1 प्लस सिग्मा 2 जीरो हो जाएगा, तो EA भी जीरो हो जाएगा और EC भी जीरो हो जाएगा. Here we will get sigma minus minus sigma 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So see, EA will be zero, EC will be zero, but EB will be 2 sigma upon 2 sigma naught. That will be sigma by epsilon naught. So here electric field will be zero. Here also electric field will be zero, and here in between the sheets electric field will be sigma by epsilon naught, which is again constant. Okay, so if we have two infinite sheets of equal and opposite surface charge density, just like the plates of a capacitor. एक कैपेसिटर की प्लेट्स कैसी होती है, एक पॉजिटिव प्लेट होती है, एक नेगेटिव प्लेट होती है, बिल्कुल ऐसे ही. तो उनके आउटसाइड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड जीरो होगा, इनसाइड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड रिमेंबर विल बी सिग्मा बाय एप्सिलॉन नॉट. सो दिस वाज थर्ड एप्लीकेशन ऑफ गॉसेस लॉ. देख लीजिए आराम से, दिस वाज थर्ड एप्लीकेशन ऑफ गॉसेस लॉ. Let us do now the fourth application of Gauss's theorem. Now we have a hollow sphere. Like in the video, you had seen a Van de Graaff generator. Van de Graaff generator is not in the syllabus, otherwise it used to be our last topic of the unit. But it's very important to know about the device. It is used to generate very high potential difference. आपने देखा होगा जिसको हाथ लगाते हैं आपके हेयर जो है वो मिस्टर बीन देखा होगा, उसमें उसके बाल खड़े हो जाते हैं, वो वैन डी ग्रैफ जनरेटर, ठीक है. तो it generates very high millions of volts of potential, right? तो उसको जनरेट कर सकते हैं हम. That is just a big metallic sphere, hollow metallic shell. तो वही हमारी फोर्थ एप्लीकेशन है. Now let us find electric field intensity at a point due to uniformly charged hollow spherical shell. Fourth application, to find electric field intensity at a point due to uniformly charged hollow spherical shell. Hollow spherical shell. ठीक है. तो we have a spherical shell now of radius r and it is having plus q charge. It is having q charge, and you notice one important property of a conductor, that if any charge is kept even at the center of a hollow conductor, it will go on the outer surface. Charge resides only on the outer surface of a conductor. Inside the conductor charge is always zero. क्योंकि इसकी इंडिकेशन आपको इलेक्ट्रिक लाइंस की प्रॉपर्टीज से भी हो गई थी कि इनसाइड देयर इज नो इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन ऑफ फोर्स पासिंग. हॉलो कंडक्टर के इनसाइड कोई भी लाइन पास नहीं करती. इसका मतलब इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड और चार्ज इनसाइड द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज ऑलवेज जीरो. प्लीज नोटिस दिस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ कंडक्टर, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है. तो हॉलो कंडक्टर के सेंटर पे भी चार्ज रखेंगे तो वो भी उसके आउटर सरफेस पे अपने आप बाहर आ जाएगा. So suppose this hollow spherical shell of radius r is having q charge. ठीक है. We want to find electric field intensity at a point P, maybe outside, maybe on the surface, maybe inside the shell. So we'll be taking three cases. Let us take up the first case when the point lies outside the shell. Point is lying outside the shell. Then see what happens when the point lies outside the shell. So suppose this is the point of observation. It is lying at a distance small r, and small r is definitely greater than the radius of shell capital R. Is the situation clear? All right. We imagine a Gaussian surface. This is definitely going to be a sphere. So Gaussian surface passing through the point of observation. So our Gaussian sphere is having radius small r now. We imagine an element here and mark the directions of E and ds. They are in the same direction as per the definition of Gaussian surface. That E and ds are in the same direction for a Gaussian surface. Electric field is perpendicular. Area vector is also perpendicular. So E and ds will remain in the same direction. So let's apply Gauss's theorem. E dot ds is q by epsilon naught. EDS cos 0 is q by epsilon naught. E bahar, E integral ds cos 0 is 1 is q by epsilon naught. Now what is integral ds? What is the area of this Gaussian sphere which is of radius small r? That is 4 pi r square. So we write E into 4 pi r square is q by epsilon naught. See, all the steps are clear up to here. Are these steps clear? So we write electric field is q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the electric field intensity at a point lying outside the shell. ये step clear है आपको? ये 4 pi r square denominator में चल गया, वहां पे epsilon naught already था. So ये एक्सप्रेशन कहीं देखा लग रहा है आपको पहले? Where did we do it? Have you seen this expression before? Can you tell me?
ये फॉर्मूला है
हाँ कौन सा है?
इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड डेंसिटी।
हाँ ये कौन सा है?
इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का
इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का, ये अभी भी इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का है, पर ये आपने पहले कहाँ पे किया है? किस किस टाइप के लिए? डाइपोल के लिए, किसके लिए किया है? डू यू रिमेम्बर? दिस इज सिंपली k/r². दिस इज इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ड्यू टू पॉइंट चार्ज. ये वही बेसिक फॉर्मूला है पॉइंट चार्ज का, द फर्स्ट एक्सप्रेशन दैट वी डिड व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. ठीक है? सो दैट मींस इफ द पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन लाइज आउटसाइड द शेल बिहेव्स लाइक अ पॉइंट चार्ज. It behaves as if whole of the charge were concentrated at its center. जबकि हमें पता है कि चार्ज जो उसके सरफेस पे लाई करता है, but if the observation point lies outside the shell behaves like a point charge. Please note it down. Give it a comment here, because one time this in boards this question was asked in this form, that show for a point charge lying outside the shell. Show for a point lying outside the shell. Shell behaves like a point charge. It behaves as if whole of the charge were concentrated at the center. तो लिख लीजिए स्टेटमेंट में, that means the shell behaves like a point charge. That means the shell behaves like a point charge as if whole of the charge were concentrated at its center. As if whole of the charge were concentrated at its center. As if whole of the charge were concentrated at its center. Got this? First case clear है आपको? Second case. For a point lying on the surface. अब हो सकता है कि point surface पे lie करे. So for a point lying on the surface. On the surface. तो अगर पॉइंट शेल के ही सरफेस पे लाई कर रहा है here, so in that situation small r is equal to capital R. Small r will be equal to capital R. So put just small r equal to capital R here in the expression. ठीक है? What do we get? We will get E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square, which is a constant and maximum possible value of electric field. So electric field intensity will be constant at a point on the surface of the shell. Okay, electric field intensity will be constant at a point on the surface of the shell. देख लीजिए, two cases clear है? Any doubt in these two cases? Third case. Now the third case. Third case, if the point lies inside the surface, inside the shell. If the point lies inside the shell, then what would happen? So let us draw this. Now the point is lying.
जीरो हो जाएगा मैम.
Yes.
मैम इनसाइड द शेल जीरो नहीं हो जाएगी?
हाँ जीरो हो जाएगी, but we have to explain that. वही हम शो कर रहे हैं. So suppose P point is lying here. This is small r less than r now. Okay, small r will be less than r now. And let us see how, in what way you have to express your answer. So imagine a Gaussian sphere passing through the observation point. ये सारा treatment आपको करना है, चाहे zero भी है. Again draw area element and mark E and ds. They are in the same direction. Then we will say something. Okay. So let's apply Gauss's theorem. Integral E dot ds is Q by epsilon naught. Now you will say, because charge enclosed by hollow conductor is zero, put it here. E dot ds is zero. That means electric field is zero. क्योंकि उसका एरिया तो जीरो है नहीं है, एरिया तो जीरो हो नहीं सकता. So that means electric field is zero inside a hollow spherical shell. So these are all the three cases now. So we saw that for a point lying outside the shell, it behaves like a point charge. It varies as inverse of r square. And for a surface, for a point on the surface, electric field is maximum and constant. And for a point inside the shell, electric field is zero because of absence of any charge inside the hollow conductor. So these are all the three cases that we have to discuss under this derivation. ठीक है, अब पूछिए, इसमें से कोई डाउट है आपका तो आप पूछ सकते हो. Do you have any doubts, students? Is that clear, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us plot a graph now. For electric field varying with distance. Let us plot a graph for electric field versus distance. So let us take this point on the surface. Here small r is equal to capital R and we mark a point. Here the electric field was maximum. Okay, these points they indicate R less than R and these points they will indicate R greater than capital R. Okay, this is surface, this is inside, this is outside. Okay, this way we divide the graph into different portions. Now this is maximum for R equal to R and this is E0, nothing we will have here because electric field is 0 for a point lying inside the shell. For outside, electric field varied as inverse of R square. So it will be a decreasing curve like this. So this is the graphical variation showing all the three cases of hollow spherical shell. Okay, plot this graph. This is very important to plot the graph after we discuss all the three cases. Okay, see this. Okay students, graph is clear. E is equal to 0 है तो वहां पे कोई भी लाइन, कुछ भी, कोई भी कर्व नहीं आएगी. Now I am going to share experimental demonstration for this case. Okay, so let us see.
If I go further out to 60 centimeters, yeah, the angle goes down a little. Of course it
Wait.
does, but not very much. And if I go far away, all the way to Mass Avenue, it's only a few degrees.
See that again.
So if now we remove this,
okay, so this Van de Graaff generator, it had its top as a hollow uniformly charged sphere. Okay, so when this charged balloon, when this balloon was taken close to it, it was getting deflected through a very large angle. But when the distance was increased, when it was taken away from the Van de Graaff generator, from this hollow spherical shell, then the angle goes on decreasing in accordance with this graph. Okay, so this is the experimental demonstration for this case of Gauss's theorem. Now last application, fifth application of Gauss's theorem we are going to do in place of hollow spherical shell, and this is conducting also. यहाँ पे एक word और add कर लीजिए, ये conductor था, ठीक है? Due to uniformly charged conducting hollow spherical shell, ये conductor था. Now in the last case we are going to take a solid sphere also and which is non-conducting. वो conductor भी नहीं, ठीक है? So let us now write the fifth case. Have you added this word conducting? Hollow spherical shell, hollow conductor था, ठीक है? अब fifth है electric field intensity at a point due to non-conducting charged solid sphere. Electric field at a point due to a charged non-conducting solid sphere. Non-conducting means any charge given to the sphere will reside where it is. जो चार्ज जहां पड़ा है वो वहीं रहेगा, it will not come out on the surface. ठीक है? So let us do that. We have a non-conducting sphere of radius r, charge is uniformly distributed over it, but it is non-conducting, so charge is staying where it is. Fine. So again there are three cases. First is point lying outside the sphere. This case will exactly be the same. वही expression आएगा k(q by r square). It will behave like a point charge. तो first case आपका बिल्कुल सेम रहेगा, इसलिए मैं इसको दोबारा से प्रूव नहीं कर रही हूँ. वैसे ही आपने डायग्राम बना लेना है, p पॉइंट बना के गॉसियन स्फीयर बना के सेम वे आपने गॉसेस थ्योरम अप्लाई करनी है एंड यू विल गेट द सेम एक्सप्रेशन. ठीक है? सेकंड केस इज आल्सो द सेम. व्हेन द पॉइंट लाइज ऑन द सरफेस, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज कांस्टेंट एंड मैक्सिमम. that will be kq by capital R square. Both the cases will be same. The difference is now the charge inside this sphere is not zero. So the third case is different. Let us do the third case. Okay, so we are to discuss the third case that will be different. So point lying inside the sphere. So now our point is lying inside somewhere here. Suppose we imagine a Gaussian sphere of radius small r is less than r. So take area element, mark E and ds in the same direction. वो सब आपने करना है, वो ठीक है, ठीक है. But charge enclosed by the whole sphere will be different from the charge enclosed by Gaussian sphere. It will be different now because of non-conducting nature. जो charge पूरा sphere enclose कर रहा है वो Q था, but the charge enclosed by Gaussian sphere will be different. Suppose Q dash now. Okay, but volume charge density will remain the same. Being this is three-dimensional object, volume charge density will remain same for the whole sphere, also for the Gaussian sphere also, separate. Okay, so let us write volume charge density for the whole sphere. Q by V, volume. So I have written volume charge density for the whole sphere. Rho is equal to Q by V, volume. So how much is Q? Q is rho multiplied by 4/3 pi r cube. Let us say this is our equation number 1. So we will replace Q by this. और रहने दीजिए, आप इसको रो को ही रहने दीजिए. Rho is equation number 1. Don't cross multiply. Leave it as such. I hope this is clear to you. Now let us apply Gauss's theorem. Again we will start from Gauss's theorem. This is an application and Gauss's theorem will be written only for Gaussian sphere. What is the charge enclosed by Gaussian sphere? वो आएगा Q dash. Remember this. We are applying Gauss's theorem always to the Gaussian sphere. So charge will be Q dash, which is enclosed by Gaussian sphere, not by the total sphere. ठीक है, तो ये हमारा Q dash आएगा यहाँ. Fine. इधर हम इसको solve कर लेंगे. Integral E dot ds is E ds cos 0 is 1. E को बाहर ले लीजिए. E integral ds वो सब स्टेप सेम रहेंगे जैसे हम हर एप्लीकेशन में कर रहे हैं. How can we write Q dash now? Let us write volume charge density for Gaussian sphere as well. That is the charge over volume of Gaussian sphere. Here I have used Q dash and small r. When I had written volume charge density for the whole sphere, I had written Q and capital R. Now for Gaussian surface, I have written Q dash and small r. Because I told you कि चाहे वो charge जैसे मर्जी हो, different हो, but volume charge density will remain the same. Per unit volume, the charge amount that will remain the same. ठीक है? So from here, how can you write Q dash? Rho into 4/3 pi r cube. So now put Q dash equal to rho into 4/3 pi r cube. ये Q dash put कर दिया over epsilon naught. See whether the step is clear to you or not. Is this step clear, students? Yes, Mayank, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. अब ये जो इक्वेशन नंबर 1 था ना, ये रो था, उसको अब हम यहाँ पे पुट करेंगे. तो मींस रो यू हैव रिटन ट्वाइस. एक बार आपने चार्ज को पुट कर दिया, अब रो को एज सच यहाँ पे पुट कर दो. सी व्हाट वी विल गेट. सो ई और इधर एरिया भी पुट कर दीजिए. गॉसियन स्फीयर का एरिया है 4 पाई r स्क्वायर और रो को पुट किया यहां से हमने q ओवर 4/3 पाई r क्यूब इंटू 4 पाई r क्यूब ओवर 3 एप्सिलॉन. तो अब देखिए कैंसिलेशन के बाद व्हाट यू आर लेफ्ट विद. सो आफ्टर कैंसिलेशन व्हाट डू यू गेट. पहले तो ये 4 पाई/3 कैंसिल हो गया आपका न्यूमरेटर में और डिनोमिनेटर में. ठीक है, इसको भी अब ले आते हैं यहाँ पे. सो क्यू आर क्यूब ओवर आर क्यूब एप्सिलॉन नॉट बचा था और 4 पाई आर स्क्वायर और आ गया. सो सी व्हाट यू आर लेफ्ट विद. 2 आर कट गए, 1 रह गया यहाँ पे. ठीक है, So you have E is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught R cube into R. So electric field is directly proportional to distance from the point of observation. So that means electric field is not zero for a point lying inside the sphere, solid sphere. It is directly proportional to R naught. So this case is different from that case of hollow sphere. So have a look at this, then we will have some modified graph also. हमारा graph भी accordingly change हो जाएगा. तो पहले ये देख लीजिए कि capital R तो constant है. All these are constants. ठीक है? So electric field is directly proportional to distance from the point of observation. Clear? So let us modify our graph. Let's plot the graph now. Again, remaining portion will remain the same. Electric field और इसके बीच में अब inside के लिए भी direct proportionality आ जाएगी. So we will get a linear graph here. यहाँ पे भी straight line आ जाएगी for point inside the shell. यहाँ पे maximum है और उसके बाद inversely proportional to square r square. Inversely proportional to r square, maximum. ये पॉइंट वही रहेंगे आपके r इक्वल टू r ग्रेटर देन r लेस देन r के लिए यू हैव वन मोर लाइन हियर. हॉलो स्फीयर में यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं था, अब यहाँ पे एक लाइन आ गई है शोइंग डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी बिटवीन इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी एंड डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन. इज दैट फाइन? ठीक है, तो ये हमारी सारी एप्लीकेशंस हो गई गॉसेस थ्योरम की. हैव अ लुक एट ऑल द 5 एप्लीकेशंस. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, आई रिपीट कौन सी की हमने. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी एट अ पॉइंट ड्यू टू इनफाइनाइट लाइन चार्ज. सेकंड वाज ड्यू टू इनफाइनाइट प्लेन शीट ऑफ चार्ज. थर्ड वाज ड्यू टू टू थिन इनफाइनाइट प्लेन शीट्स ऑफ चार्ज. फोर्थ वाज ड्यू टू hollow spherical shell, and fifth is due to non conducting solid sphere. So these were 5 applications of Gauss's theorem. I hope this concept is clear to you now. So last article related to Gauss's theorem, last article of our chapter 2 of electric field. That is the syllabus for your test on Wednesday. It won't be electric force and charges. वो chapter हो गया आपका. अब electric field का complete chapter उसका आपका test है Wednesday, as already told to you. So not
Excuse me, ma'am.
force. It will be only the chapter of electric field where we did dipole, electric lines. ठीक है, then axial line, equatorial line, torque, acting potential energy, and then this concept of Gauss's theorem. हाँ जी बोलो.
मैम यहाँ वॉल्यूम चार्ज डेंसिटी क्यों आया? क्योंकि सॉलिड स्फीयर था.
सॉलिड स्फीयर है ना, चाहे अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज डिफरेंट है फॉर टोटल स्फीयर एंड फॉर गॉसियन स्फीयर, बट वॉल्यूम चार्ज डेंसिटी तो सेम रहेगी ना. अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम सेम रहेगी. ठीक है, जैसे न्यूक्लियाई के केस में चाहे आप हाइड्रोजन ले लो लाइटेस्ट एलिमेंट, चाहे आप यूरेनियम ले लो इतना हैवी न्यूक्लियस, बट जो उनकी न्यूक्लियर चार्ज डेंसिटी है, न्यूक्लियर डेंसिटी है, वो सेम रहती है. ठीक है, न्यूक्लियस का जो मास ओवर वॉल्यूम रेशियो सेम रहता है, वैसे ही यहाँ पे चार्ज डेंसिटी सेम रहेगी, वॉल्यूम चार्ज डेंसिटी की रेशियो सेम रहेगी. ठीक है,
ओके मैम.
okay. So last article related to this chapter is deduction of Coulomb's law using Gauss's theorem. अब Gauss's theorem को यूज करके Coulomb's law कैसे डिराइव करेंगे, that is our last article. Let's complete it. So deduction of Coulomb's law from Gauss's law. So very simple. We are taking a charge Q1, point charge Q1. We want to find electric field intensity at P point, which is at a distance R from the point charge. So to find electric field intensity at that point, we imagine a spherical Gaussian sphere. यहाँ पे हम imagine करते हैं spherical Gaussian sphere. ठीक है? We imagine a spherical Gaussian sphere. So we mark E and ds, they are in the same directions. So using Gauss's theorem, we write integral E dot ds is q1 by epsilon naught. Charge is q1. Okay? तो गॉसेस थ्योरम को यूज करके हम इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड निकाल लेते हैं. E डॉट ds cos 0 हो गया, वो cos 0 1 हो गया, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड को बाहर ले लिया, वही सेम स्टेप. ठीक है. What is the area of Gaussian sphere? 4 pi r square. So using this you find electric field intensity at p point q1 over 4 pi epsilon naught r square. ये हो गया आपका. ये आपने यूजिंग गॉसेस थ्योरम किया, जो स्टेप आप हर एक डेरिवेशन में कर रहे थे. दिस इज द सेम सीक्वेंस ऑफ स्टेप्स. Now, what is the main thing? If at point P now a charge, another point charge Q2 is kept, how much force it will experience? कितना फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस करेगा? क्योंकि यहाँ P पॉइंट पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, जिसको हमने कैलकुलेट किया, इतना इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है. So how much force will be experienced by this Q2 charge kept at here, kept at this point? It will be F is equal to QE. F is equal to QE किया ना आपने, उसमें वो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड पुट कर दीजिए, तो क्या आ जाएगा आपके पास? Q2 into Q1 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the same expression Q1 Q2 over 4 pi epsilon naught r square, which is Coulomb's formula. K Q by r square, which is Coulomb's formula. So that we have derived using Gauss's theorem. So this is reduction of Coulomb's law using Gauss's theorem. Now our chapter 2 of first unit that is complete. ठीक है? Chapter 2 of first unit is complete. Now we will be starting with potential and potential energy. After that, capacitance. Okay, students. So have a look at this. If